Versus Institutions Committee on February 4th. And we have with us Joe Aja from BGS
Asia.
Asia.
Asia was a Steely Dan album.
Well, it was a good one. So Joe, take it away.
Okay. Get this up for the, I tried pulling this up for the record. Joe Aja, Director for Design and Construction with Buildings and General Services. If I can really get this working. Submit Zoom.
The first one before. Right page.
Oops. Sorry about that.
Right.
All right. And we left off, we had completed 120 State Street, and now we're moving on to Middlesex, the Sarah roof, the Vermont State Archives and Records building. This is, in the photo, you can see the same complex. So we also had the old Middlesex Public Safety Facility and also the temporary juvenile facility, which is not shown here in this picture. Before, and last biennium, we will refer you for the lower copper roof to be replaced. On the upper section is a flat or low pitched roof, which is a membrane roof, and that also has seen better days. That was the original building was constructed in 3 phases. Originally was constructed in 1989. The second phase was constructed in 1990 and the third in 2008. And so it's about, get the height, actually this, about 40, 45 feet on the interior of this, the top of the roof for the record storage. So any of the records that are created here throughout the state for employees and all, including the governor, all go here for long-term storage. So it is a vital building to be protected from roof leaks. So we're looking for $1 million. This in FY7 for the design and placement of the roof. And for Representative Sweeney, I added the photo on the bottom left that shows that the snow does slide off the gossamer.
You see it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Also in Middlesex, under the copper roof, is the print and postal for buildings and journal services. And in there, they have machines that are, some of the machines are over $500,000 a piece. And some of them are connected to a UPS, uninterruptible power source. So if it does lose power, like a battery, it maintains, or it is a battery, it maintains power to that system until a generator comes on or normal power comes on. Problem is, the machines over time have become larger and they have more of them. They have duplicates, so when one fails, they can continue with their operating process. We had started a renovation over time back with Sarah, swapping space with print postal. That's where the appropriations of $58,000 a date came. That's the leftover money in that project. And we need to put the rest of the machines on the UPS. So when they do lose power, if it's not on the UPS, it's just like a computer with a hard drive. It doesn't do well with a crash. So it's more of a server than a computer during that time. So that's why they're looking to have an increased UPS so that they can maintain the equipment running to cross over from an outage to generator or the power comes back up.
Joe?
So I'm probably reading this slide wrong. It says total estimated cost 258, appropriated 58. We need 250. Is there 50? Is it really 200? Or am I?
Well, we need the 250. So the total project cost
Just three of it.
Is whatever the math is. Yes.
308.
Updated slide.
It's 308.
So all excited, I thought I found money for.
Years ago. We answered that one. So Troy?
It's in.
That's about where I was gonna go. I'm just clarifying
So it's really 308.
Yeah, you should have gotten
Yes.
that.
and verifying that that 250 gets, that's enough, that's it? That's.
That is
I'll
it,
finish the
yeah,
project.
that is correct.
Yeah,
For that 250 is in the cash fund.
yes.
Thank you.
Oh, it's the Waterbury State Office Complex core roof. This is a ongoing project. We are presently out to bid. So after Irene, a lot of the buildings were demolished and others were retrofitted. But we did not have enough funding at the time to replace the slate on the roofs. We did fix some of the brick and all the interior. And so now what we're doing is we're going back through and replacing the slate. The slate is end of life. It's very brittle. Our maintenance staff goes around in the springtime to pick up the slate. But if you are walking nearby, no one's been hit yet, but you could be hit. So we're starting a process to go through and replace the slate. We have a bid being advertised right now to start this process. And that would take care of buildings B, C, D, and F potentially is an allowance. It depends on how the prices come in. If the price is very good, we're able to add that in or just leave it out. So that is the beginning of this. So we are looking for additional funding, $2 million in 26 and 27, for a total of 4 to be adding to that. And then in the out years, there will also be some additional funding required because we're estimating right now at 22 million to complete all those roofs.
Wow, that's
You said it's currently out to bid?
Yes. For the 4 buildings I listed.
You said 44 buildings?
For 4 of the
Four
buildings,
buildings.
right, yes.
I was
So
like,
B, C, D, and F.
I got a dumb question, Joe. I hate being the person to ask a dumb question. I thought Waterbury was all rebuilt.
It was except for the roofs. So we did not do the roofs. We were, at that point in time, looking at it, some of the slate appeared to be holding up well.
Okay.
It wasn't all falling off. Because every time when we go on a roof now to repair a slate or two, more falling off. So they're very brittle.
I got you.
And so on this repair, what we're also doing is we're finding a lot of the slates are breaking in around the valleys. So we're working with historic preservation and we're going to increase the width of those valleys. So we'll have more exposed copper. So at least when there is some ice damming building up, it's not doing it on the slate. It'll
That
be
makes sense.
Thank you.
32 Cherry Street, another parking garage. This here is courthouse that is above it. And this is additional funding to get us through to the end of that project. So right now we have a design underway. We're in the design development review phase. We have a construction manager on board also, who's doing that review and helping us come up with the best way to tackle this project because court will be in session. We're going to be doing one section of the parking garage at a time. And so it's also about coordination and how to make that whole thing work.
That finishes it? The 200 or that 2 million?
Yes.
That's it.
That is it.
You won't ask for anything else.
I never say never. There,
You try.
the intent is to be finished with just that ask until we really get into it. Hopefully, it's not any more damage than we expect it to be.
Thank you.
And that
Yeah.
is it. However, I do have 2 other slides, but, okay. And that is to correct 2 the issues I had last time I was in the neighborhood. And so planning and reuse and contingency, the math error that we had, I neglected to put in the cash fund. So the total balance that we have is $1,075,000. And we're asking for another $250,000 for 26 and 27. So the error is in what that balance was.
Thank you for correcting that.
You're welcome. And then also, oops, another correction. I know, I had to stop share, I hate to get it back. The other one up is for my presentation the other day in judiciary. Report. Report, yes. Technology going awry here on the. There we go. And on this here, my error was also in the balance. I believe Madam Chair had calculated about 1.5 million is what was expended. Actually, it's only 126,000, something like that. So it was my, just a math error on my part of calculating the balance. So that's a correction on that one. I'll have to bring you back another one, obviously, for what we missed on today.
Did anybody have questions about what we? No. Well, that's about the easiest you've had it in here, Joe, or at least the shortest.
Yes.
The chair?
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
So I won't comment, Joe.
We all know that every single one of these, we're going to overview and we'll get into more detail on each one as we get there. But appreciate it. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you guys had?